Hi everyone, welcome back. So adding Swagger to your project is just a piece of cake. Why? Add this module and then just in the app module or create a swagger.ts or whatever, you just define this thing. So here we are creating a config, document builder, what is this API about, version, tags, build, document factory, create a document and expose this document on this API path for this app instance using document factory. This is the first step you need to do. Before that, NestJS Swagger and there is a dist express. There are two modules which you need to add. Let me just see if it is there. I can show you the example. I think maybe it is coming with this only. Swagger, dist express. This is nothing but okay, might be it has bundled with this. Okay, only one module. And this is how your Swagger UI looks like. It generates a Swagger JSON also. So now let's set up this in our project. So to create a Swagger, I think I have already written some code. Config, document builder, title, description, version, add bearer auth. If your API wants to expose authorization logic, that means you need to pass a token. So add bearer auth, all the tags and their description, user tags, this description. If you see here, name and description. So if let's say your Swagger docs is exposing user, product, event, profile, blogs, post, so you can add the information about each and everything. And at the /API, it is exposing the document on the app instance for this document object, right? Now, this is the step one for exposing the Swagger. Now coming to the tagging, right? What we are doing here is simple. We are using product, API tags, controller, right? So if controller is products, then the tags will be defined as a product. So it will be added on the product tag and all these tags, API operation. Let's see, this is the get. Obviously, this is going to return API OK response because it is going to return you 200 response code. So you can just do API OK response. Summary, description, what is the attribute here? So status, yeah, I think type and example. So if you have any type, or you can just simplify the description what this is about. Similarly, if this is API is get post, so what post is expected, right? We can actually use this thing also, API created response. Yeah, there is API created response and you can define it in the description. It automatically knows, okay, you are talking about 200 status code. We need to import it and then description. Right, so API created response for status 201. Similarly, API OK response for delete. This is API no content response. This is the delete, right? Because we don't want to API no content. Yeah, you can just add a description for this. And let's import it. That's it. So based on the status code each and every controller is returning, you can actually run this. And now we can start our application. Why we don't need to import it? I think there was no content response from Swagger. Yeah, now it is correct. Okay, now we can run this project. So it is running on this project and Swagger docs is available on this API path. So let's see the Swagger docs. So this is our Swagger docs. And if you go here, API JSON, it will give you the Swagger YML also. If you want to share it with someone who doesn't have access, then you can actually generate the Swagger JSON like this. So these are the APIs, right? So user, you can see it will return 200 status code. It can return 201, 409, 400. All possible status code are exposed. What is the schema? What is the example value? Right? So it exposes everything, whatever you try to add in the DTOs. All the DTOs are exposed here. You can see create user DTO. All the validation criteria, all the example values are added here. These are the enum of this update user DTO, what all criteria, which is required, which is not required, all these things. And this is authorized because we have enabled it. So when you try to access any API, it will try to send that and a token. You can see we also need to add authorization at the controller layer. Currently this is a public API. Let me see if I can do this. We need to add, you can see here API bearer auth is added here. So it is sending the authorization header, whatever I have added, to this API. And you can see it is sending 401. That is the authorization layer I have added, because these are not public API. Public APIs are only these two. So we haven't added an auth guard logic on these APIs, and they are free. You can access them. So in the next video, let's see how we can add an auth guard or the middleware in these building blocks.